All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Hustle Underdog podcast, where we teach creators how to hustle and hustlers how to create. On today's episode, I have a guy who's on a mission to teach 20 dads how to be dadpreneurs. He's a dad himself. This guy is a hustler by every definition of the word. He's pulling seven figures off the cell phone, and he got a bunch of things in store for us today, man. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Jaqil Taylor.
Amar, my brother, I appreciate you having me, man. And I appreciate what you're doing as well. I know you being a father and you're giving information and you're sharing it with a lot of excitement and enthusiasm. And that's what, young brothers need. So I appreciate you.
For sure, man. A lot of what I do is centered around fatherhood. My story is an interesting one, but it's not uncommon. So I'm always excited to see somebody who looks like me, who one is dedicated to being a father, and two is a hustler by every sense of the word, man. So I would say, tell me a little bit about yourself. So go ahead and start with that, but really kind of focus on, when did you realize you were a hustler?
Right. Well, a little bit about me, man. I'm originally from Campbellsville, Kentucky, small town, USA, population, less than 12,000. I knew I was a hustler when I saw my mom hustling all the time. She used to work a lot of jobs to keep up with the bills. My dad was in my household as well. He was in the military, so he worked. He was gone a lot. He worked in Frankfurt, so every day he's commuting about 2.5 hours. So I really was raised by my grandparents, and one of them was schizophrenic. My grandmother on my dad's side, and then my parents on my mom's side, they were alcoholics. So I always like to start that from the beginning, just to kind of mold and let people know, kind of how I was raised. Great family, just small town thinking. As far as being a hustler, like I said, from my mom, even young, I would always have kind of the gift of the gab. I was always one of the enthusiastic children. I can go back to even remembering in like third or fourth grade, I used to buy the little dollar Hot Wheels, kind of fix them up, maybe paint them, and then flip them for like $10, $15 to some of the kids at school. I don't necessarily think that like I was just born a hustler, right? I went through a lot of trials and tribulations. Had my first daughter at 15, yeah, and I'm 26 today, and I got 3 children. So I just kind of lets you know they're all 4 years apart. And then I battled a lot of other addictions, man. I battled drug addiction, went through that. So it wasn't like I was just born as a hustler and, I was always going to get it by any means.
Right.
My back was against the wall, man. There was a point in time where I was really lazy. I had an ego and I didn't want to listen to no one. I thought I knew it all. But when your back's against the wall, man, it's either fight or flight. And, once you start getting those small micro wins, it's on.
So it's safe to say that you've definitely seen your fair share of adversity, man, based on what you just shared here. But it seems like it all worked out. How old are you? Oh, yeah, how old are your kids?
My oldest is 10. My second, my daughter, Allie. My second daughter is 6, Alea. And then my third, my first boy, he's 1.5, will be 2 in September. So they're all 4 years apart.
I see you, man.
And it's crazy, bro. I can remember, and that's why like I'm so big about my words, because there's power in the words and the ether, bro. But I can remember being young and always saying, I want 3 kids, 2 daughters and a boy, to protect the 2 girls 4 years apart.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. Before I even had kids, I don't know. That was just like a random thing, but hey.
Definitely power in the words, man. Tell me about in the bio, man, right off the bat, 7 figures from the cell phone. Let the people know what's going on. 7 figures is a big number.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, that's 7 figures in revenue, right? So that's 7 figures I'm generating for my clients. That's not me having $1 million cash in the bank. I do want to clarify that. But basically, what I do, I'm a high ticket closer. I partner with marketers, influencers online, and what I notice is there's a high need for salespeople, for people who aren't scared to do what we're doing today, to who's not scared to get on the phone and have a conversation, to ask questions, to be a good communicator and listen, right? A lot of people selling programs, a lot of people selling stuff, but not enough people to get on the phone. So that's what I do. Just I partner with them. I close their deals, and it's been able within 10 months, about 9 to 10 months, I generated about 1.2, 1.3 mil in revenue for my clients. And, of course I get a pretty nice percentage of that. So yeah, that's just the, grand scale of what that is in the bio.
Yeah, how'd you get started with that? A lot of people. So I'll tell you. For me, for example, I've been online for what feels like forever now, and I've come across the likes of affiliate marketing, blogging, YouTube, AdSense, and all of that. And this the traditional ways of making money. But I'm just starting to recently hear about high ticket sales. How did you find out about it, and what steps and resources did you use to kind of get good at what you do?
Right, right. Okay, so how did I find out about it? Well, I've been in sales commission since 18 years old. Typically, all I knew, brother, was door to door. So I've been knocking doors, going business to business, selling anything you can think of. Verizon Communications, energy. I've sold waste management, timeshare, you name it, bro. I've done it, and I had no idea about this online world. I'll be honest with you. I did not like social media at all. I'm the type of brother, honestly, I'll delete my social media and forms of communication throughout the day and maybe check it in the morning and at night. Right. So,
Right.
I was doing well, I was making a good living, but it required me to travel to a lot of different territories. So I've upped and left my kids and my girl, soon to be wife, 3 to 4 times just within like a 2 year radius, and have to move to like Texas, Arkansas, Long Island, maybe 5, 6 months at a time. And
Yeah.
I just knew, bro, there had to be a better way. I have to get on the phones. And that's with me, studying people that I want to be like. One of my main mentors that I'm excited because I get to meet actually in a few weeks in Miami, Grant Cardone. I'm hoping he's going to be there. It's at his event, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he'll be there. But yeah, just I got to get on the phones. You can reach so many more people. You could be remote. You can have freedom, right? So I just kept on looking into phone sales, phone sales, phone sales. And I ended up bumping into someone, Nehemiah Davis, and you probably know him mutually through Mike. And it's not really I bumped into him. I attracted him. I saw he was balling and making money online. I saw he was doing big things, and I knew I had some value. I knew I could sell. So I'm like, yo, like, let me figure out this online thing. So I added value to him, and it took me just to let people know, like, this isn't something that's just going to happen overnight. Now, if you get with the right person, if you rock with, you got the Dan Locks, the Taylor Welches, the Eli Wilds, and if anybody's listening, just I would write this down because these are some of the high ticket sales gurus in the industry. Ryan Stewman, even Billy Jean got some good content. If you get with the right person and get on their team, success can quickly happen overnight, where you could go from, barely making anything to, $5,000, $10,000 a month on the phone. But for me, I didn't have no mentors. I figured everything out. I put my own money up. So bumped into a guy named Nehemiah Davis, attracted him. I was like, yo, I'm a salesperson. I knock doors. Anything you need, I got you. In fact, let me knock doors for you and, promote your event space, because he had some things going on. So I knocked doors for free, just adding value, handing out flyers. And eventually the time was right where he needed a sales team built out. Some other people in the industry need salespeople as well. So that's how I got into that space. And there, it's just been growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, shout out to Nehemiah Davis. So Mike put me on to him when I did Mike's interview a couple months ago, and he told me about this guy. He was like, "Yo, you got to connect with him. You guys have a really similar story." And I started looking into him a little more. I followed him on Instagram for a little bit, and I saw, his father was in jail. I come from a similar background. My pop did 14 years. He came home, and him and I built our relationship, and then we started a company from it. But I see, Nehemiah came from a similar situation. I don't know all the ins and outs. And, he's wildly successful, and he's helping change people's lives just like you're helping change people's lives. It's a common thread, man. When people move out and decide they're going to be good fathers, it seems like luck is on your side. Tell me about your company. What is it that you do?
Yeah. The QIL Company, it's kind of, just what I told you, being a
Okay.
high ticket closer. So, it's a company where I partner, with influencers. I close their deals on the phone, but we also do, lead generation as well. So this is one thing I've learned, bro, and it's really helped me out because for years I tried to be the face, right? Buckle down on what you're great at, right? So I'm really good at sales. I know that's my thing. I can talk, I
Right.
can talk, I can talk. I'm not good at social media. But I am getting better because I'm investing my money. I'm getting around the right people. I'm not good at lead generation, not good at SEO, Google Ads. I'm not good at ecom, right? I'm studying and I'm getting around the right people to increase my skill set, which is ultimately going to increase my income. But what I know I could do is get on the phones or go sell or go knock doors. So I do joint ventures, bro. I do JVs. I get with the
Okay.
people who got the marketing dollars, who got the leads, who know how to do it. And then I bring in my services, which is the QIL Company, and we just, split the profits. And once I learned that you don't have to be the face, but you could be just as wealthy, even more wealthier just behind the scenes, then it was a go from there.
I'm excited to hear that. Hustle Underdog is my blog slash my podcast slash my reason to be able to put content out on YouTube, to be able to talk to cool hustlers like yourself. Out of the Ashes is kind of like my bread and butter. It's my fatherhood company where we do programs. It's all based around an event. Me and my pop, we wrote a short play, but from that, we got a distribution deal. We do one-on-ones and group workshops and community centers and schools and churches and all of that good stuff. So we might need a partner, man, because we've been actually looking to try to figure out a way to kind of grow. And I think you and I can have a conversation around that. You may mention that you're not really big on social media, but I kind of beg to differ. You don't get to almost 10,000 followers on Instagram on accident. Trust me, I've been trying for years now and I'm stuck at 1,200. Tell me how you grew your following on IG, man. What's some of your go-to strategies?
Yeah, I invested in the right people, man. I tried to figure it out on my own. Well, for one, I'll give you kind of like a simple uh, formula that I use, right? And I'm sure a lot of people use it on the regular. I just try to post anywhere from 6 to 10 stories a day. I make sure I post at least one post a day. And on Facebook, it's like the same rhythm, only I'll do a post in the morning based on who my ideal customer, who I'm trying to attract. So my person is probably someone who's up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So
Hmm.
I'll post something motivating around lunchtime or maybe around 3. I'll post something maybe funny, something to grab their attention, and then at nighttime, I'll tend to add some value and then, ask for their information to, possibly generate them from lead to customer. So that's one of the formulas I use. But the only reason I got to that point, bro, is just investing in other people. So again, I buckle down 80 to 95% of the time what I'm good at, or at least 80% of the time what I'm good at. And
Right.
then the other 20% of the time, I'll just research. But I'm investing in other people. My boy Matt B, he helped me get my social media right. Neo, taking strategies from him. His ebook, the IG ebook or IG Cash book or something like that.
Okay.
Um, that got some major hacks in there, and that's I think less than $50. Like for real, I would definitely cop that if that's something you want to implement like immediately for like organic build. But yeah, I can't take the credit, man. I just get around people smarter than me, and I just kind of work with them, and they tell me what to do. You know.
That's kind of the name of the game, dude. I was on this call with Noah Kagan. You familiar with him?
No. Oh,
Oh man,
say it again. Noah what?
Kagan.
No, I don't think not right off the top.
You got to get familiar. He's a founder at AppSumo. He was number 4 at Mint. He was number 30 at Facebook, and 8-figure software company owner. And so what he does in his spare time, or I guess his passion, is kind of teaching people marketing and stuff like that. Long story short, I was on a call with him and a couple other guys from his email list a couple weeks ago, and one of the things he said is, he was talking to somebody and he said, what's your superpower? And it was like it's one of his partners or whatever. And the guy came back, he said pattern recognition. He believes everybody has a superpower, something that they're really, really strong at. Like for me, I took that and I thought to myself, I said, God, what's my superpower? And I think mine is being able to leverage other people's talents to create value. What do you think your superpower is?
That's a good question, man. I think my superpower is helping people to get out of their own way. especially when it comes to the arena of, commission sales. For me, I'm very simplistic. I tend to look at everything from like a bird's eye view. So the inner me is typically the enemy is typically the inner me. And one thing I've realized is when you get around the right people, they'll get you out of your own way. By default. I think that's really what I'm good at, especially when it comes to sales.
That's so dope, man. Tell me about this mission to take 20 dads and turn them into dadpreneurs. Where did that come from? How's it going? Like, tell me all about that.
Yeah, for sure. Again, with me, I had my first child at 15. I found out I was going to be a father at 20. And then last year, so I got 3 children before 30. And one thing I noticed, man, when you have kids young, you really grow up fast. Like you really don't have time to necessarily have the childhood, and that stresses a lot of people out. And when they don't get to where they always wanted to be by the time they're 25, 30, or whatever the case may be, they typically give up or they go to reliving the childhood that they didn't get to have, you
Right.
know? So I just want to be that positive person. My goal is really to help 100 fathers. But I wanted to start off with 10. A group of 10.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm doing it, man, I don't want anything. No one has to pay me for nothing. I just want to give back. It's a way to give, be a steward, pass along the information that I've been able to bless that people's passed along to me. And ultimately, in the long haul, the more I teach, the more I role play with people, the more success I help get others. That's going to give me confidence. That's going to give me credibility. And then long term play, we'll build out an agency, man, and I'll help get the people that are serious and who's really wanting to do this, get them some partnerships.
Incredible work, man. So listen, I'm not going to hold you too much longer, but I do want to ask you some things. If you're anything like me, you got a favorite book or a favorite podcast or something that kind of was pivotal for you to kind of took you to the next level. What book took you to the next level entrepreneur wise?
Ooh, that's a good question, man. I mean, it's a lot of books. It's a variation of so many books because it's just one piece of data that I need. I could just fire so many off to you, but it wouldn't even be fair for me to say one, bro. I can tell you what I'm listening to now that's really pushing me. If that's cool,
Yeah,
instead,
of course.
"Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins, the audio book.
Okay.
Have you heard of him, David
I
Goggins?
haven't. I haven't.
Man, yo, Navy SEAL, the toughest man, the world's toughest man, is what they label him. Black dude from Indiana. I mean, story just crazy, bro. Like it's wild. And when you hear him tell it in his voice, it makes it 20 times better. But he freaking, I mean, some of his biggest accolades, he lost like 100 some pounds in like 30 days to make Navy SEAL training. He's went to 3 hell weeks through Navy SEALs. He ran 100 miles in less than 24 hours, didn't prepare. I mean, like 65 Ironmans, but he had just a crazy childhood, bro. Like the stuff he's overcame, but his
Yeah.
mental toughness. I mean, that's a great book though. So I would cop that and invest in the audio book too, because hearing him talking in his voice is worth the extra money.
Hey, man. I promise you, as soon as we hang up, I'm going to buy it. Go right on my Audible and grab that today. So listen, man, is there anything else you want to leave the people with? I got a feeling we're gonna be doing a part two of this for sure. We got a lot of ground to cover, man, based off of the things you're trying to do, the things I'm trying to do, and some of the groundwork I've already laid. I feel like we can find some harmony and definitely create opportunity out of this relationship. Anything you want to leave the people with?
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. We definitely can. And you're right in Delaware. I'm right in Allentown, so we could for sure. How far are you from Allentown? Like,
90 minutes, if that.
okay, yeah, I didn't mean to put your location out there.
Nah, you good.
Yeah, I didn't think I asked it then. Final thoughts, man. Just keep persistent. Just keep persistent, man. And your day's gonna come. It doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen. Like the only way you fail, literally, is if you lose. And take people's successes as a sign that it's possible for you. I know one thing that held me back for years, just being bitter, and it's a lot to do with being a father young and stuff I went through, and drug addiction and everything.
Yeah.
When I saw people winning, I would always like have this bitterness about me, and be like why them? Like, they don't deserve it like I do, this and that, this and that. And the more you do that, the more like the frequency's off. So success, proclaim success, celebrate other people's success, just be in a good mood, bro. Have gratitude, love, like, find the good in everything, and count your small wins. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. I think especially with this parallel technology, we looking in all the time with social media, scrolling and tapping, and like we forget who our identity is and why we here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like don't compare yourself to others. Just keep persisting, celebrate success in your life and in others, and celebrate the small wins, and just be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we overcomplicate life sometimes, man, and we forget that we're grateful and why we're here. So I think that's the main thing that I would say. That was on my heart this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Wise words from an excellent man. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes part one. And I'm saying that just because part two is definitely going to happen in the future. That concludes part one with Jaqil Taylor, the Hustle Underdog podcast, where we teach creators how to hustle and hustlers how to create. Jaqil, until we meet again, man.
My brother, it's gonna definitely be a 7-game series with this one. So part
For
2, part
sure.
3, part 4. Let's get it, man.
Let's
Appreciate your
get it.
time.